Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people. Welcome back to Cities Skylines, where we are back once again in the city of Westwood. And we're over here in this little lakefront area, lake/river. I mean, we've got a river that forms a lake, bend of a river. I don't know what that is called on a water feature. It's a thing, but I don't know. Hey, is anybody missing a goat? You saw one wandering the streets today. Here? Okay, apparently we have a goat out by the airport. Good lord, the airport's busy. 228 active flights. Wow. Okay, glad to see the airport's doing well. Anyway, we are going to be over here now that we're done being distracted by goats. And I want to build low density stuff out here in a lot of residential, because we're going to have, and we've got a 5-star oil industry. It's going to be all knocked down and rebuilt. This is all just temporary. You can see tons of workers barracks, get the workers, and some oil pumps, and that's about it. That's all I really bothered to put in. I don't even know if this, yeah, we don't even have like the special industry or anything. This is literally just somewhere we're making petroleum. There we go. Oh, there's my pumps. These little tiny pumps. Yeah, we're going to completely do something different with that probably in the next video, or maybe even the next one after that. But today we've got this huge residential demand, and I want to take care of it. That's why we put in this new interchange, was to have access over here. And then we can also have maybe some bridges across over here. That'll be tricky to get some bridges in. This is really not a huge amount of space. But maybe we can just kind of have a collector that runs back here that feeds some little neighborhoods off in this way, and maybe somehow connects over here. Don't know yet. Haven't thought that far. All I've really thought about is this piece of land really here, maybe encompassing that little stub of a peninsula. So first things first, I want to do just a little bit of upgrading right here. I want to have this, and I don't want it elevated right on the ground. There we go. I want to go ahead and get this in so that the people going straight can get in this lane, people turning right can get in this lane, and then of course that leaves us a dedicated turn lane there. But man, that made that ugly, didn't it? Is there anything I can do about that? Maybe a node controller? If I just kind of, yeah, if we square that up a little bit. Well, we don't want it quite square, because we want that to be a nice sweeping turn there. But that gets it better, I guess. I really wish there was a way to line all of this up better. But if I line up this with this edge, then this is going to be way over. And so people turning are going straight here, I'll have to go way over. So I'll just leave it. So yeah, I wanted to get that upgraded so that we have a collector that feeds into here. And I'm trying to think of the best way to orient this. If I go over here, it's just a view of just the river. We could orient it mainly off of this view of this little inlet here, but not the best. I think what we want to do is have it centered right here on the lake. And one thing I want to start with, we can replace the trees. I want to get our coast nice and exposed here so that I can see a little bit better of what we're doing. And since it's been a while, I don't remember how much we graded of this. Not a huge amount. It looks like we did some of it. Let's go ahead and see what this is going to look like if we do a bit more. Ooh, we are getting really high there. So let's undo that. Let's go ahead and get that in. We can soften this up here in a minute. Just a little bit. I mean, we do have a pretty steep coastline there, but I like this more gentler approach. And I especially like this over here. So maybe what I'll do is pick one of these lower elevations and kind of just give this a little hit here and see what that does. Yeah, I'm liking that. That way, at least it's a nice flat area to work in for zoning and roads and all of that. And then we will smooth out the transition between these two. In fact, I want to go ahead and bring that back just a smidge. And then we'll grab the softened train and we'll just come in here and follow that around. I mean, we've got a really big elevation change to deal with there, but as far as from down here, it looks nice. So I like it, but we do, like I said, have a pretty significant elevation change here. So what I'm thinking is, so I was kind of thinking that this would be like a really good place to center this down, just because this is nice land right here, and it kind of looks out over the water. When you're down here, you can see some of the town across the way. You see the rocks that are here. Let's go to this view. You see the rocks that are across the way. That I guess is damming things up. Maybe these two used to connect once upon a time. Don't know. It's always been like this in this map. I think it'd be nice to center it off of this, but getting the collector to come down around here may be a little tricky. Maybe we could have a collector that kind of goes from here and around, and then this one kind of comes down and tees into it. That's not a bad idea. Let's go with something that I very rarely use, the large avenue with grass. It is still technically a collector, so I think we'll go with it. So I want to get this situated. Let's bring that back up here. Right along like that works. And then we'll have it come down, and that should take care of that elevation change. It is a bit lumpy in a couple spots, so let's get this section in here all to one elevation. Like all of this, make it, just pick one. That height, yeah, looks good. And then that goes up, and then that will come down. So yeah, that'll work. And then we will have this kind of come around just a bit to, just going to leave the freeform tool on to about, I really would like it to go a little straighter than that for a little while, actually, just to get it this direction a little bit more. And then we'll have it come around and kind of terminate. I'll say it's getting a road guideline from kind of about there. We may wind up doing something different than that. Same thing over here. This is just a suggestion for now. And then on this guy, we will find a nice way to bring this in. I'd really like it to be like, whoa, jumpy. Kind of right here toward the middle. That's about our mid spot, but getting those two connected is going to be a bit of a challenge. Not that it can't be done, but what I'd have to do is have this road curve quite a bit. Let's use our road guidelines here. Let's go out 15 and then 15 this way. Kind of aim roughly at it, and then use the curved road tool just to finish that up. Kind of a very curved approach to this area, but that could potentially lead to some interesting uses back in through here. And now that I look at it, though, I'm not sure that I want this collector right against the water. I think I might want to back it off a little bit. I do. Don't hate me for what I'm doing here. I've changed my mind. It's my right. So we're going to come back one full... this far. Yeah? No, I like the idea of a half. There we go. That'll give me some room to work with down there. Let's try to line up our nodes. There we go. And hopefully that took care of that. So cool. Get rid of that. Get rid of all that. And now we gotta undo that. I know, I just built it and I already demolished it, but we've got the money. We can afford it. So let's go right about here. Yeah, let's keep this as our center point. And I'd like this to go ahead and come out that far. So then, once again, we're just going to kind of eyeball this in. I've got a road guideline there off of that, but that's off the highway. But it might work out for us. It does. There we go. Very twisty way to get back into the main part of town. Not sure how I feel about it. What if this just came straight out? Where would that intersect? Way down here, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I mean, we're going to have quite a few people living down here, and there will be businesses down here. I know. Make up your mind, Brandon. I will. Just as soon as I find something I like. Now, this is going to have to curve to make a good connection here. In fact, I'm probably going to have to come in. Let's see where this wants to make. It doesn't want to make a good connection. This is the problem. It doesn't want to make a 90 using any of my road guidelines. That's not tragic. I don't hate it. So we can live with it. Cool. And then off of this, we'll just kind of... This is going to be... I want some sort of central piece here with a little park right here in the middle. Nothing too extravagant. Basically what this is going to be is, you know, the citizens that work at all of this industry over here. We will, of course, expand this little town out as well. What do we call that town? Umber? This town will need a name as well. But for now, this gets us started. So let's not worry about the curves for now. I would like this area to be anchored by something nice. I'm thinking there's the courthouse that might look nice in here. There's this big courthouse that's huge. Maybe it's not the courthouse, the tax office. I mean, tax office isn't exactly an exciting place. Fusion power plant's not something I usually build, and to be honest, a little smaller than I'd like. I'd like something between the two. Like, this courthouse is ginormous, and I don't think really is going to fit. I mean, that's basically, well, that's about an 8, 9, 10-story building. A little bit bigger than what I'm really looking for in this area. So let's just look through these here. I got just a shop. That's a big tower. So let's go back down to some of our smaller ones. And I just don't think I have anything that does what I want it to do. Let's take a peek in here. Nope, nothing there. Government offices, that might work. Though it's got a very European feel to it, doesn't it? It really, really does. And I think it might be just a bit too formal for this area. Gosh, this is where I should download more assets from the workshop. Oh, we are suddenly losing money. Department store, nah. Movie theater, nah. City Hall is, again, it's nice, but I don't know that it's exactly the theme that I want. Brandenburg Gate, nah. I want a building, not a monument. A theater. Oh, if I was really oriented the other way, that could work really well. Though, let's see. If I have the theater, like, right there. You know, that's not bad. That's really not bad. If we move it to the other side, we get some weird things happening with the terrain, but we can work with that, I think. If I bring this way down and just level out a pad around this. Kind of add an angle here. And get just a little bit back here. And then see what we can do to maybe make this look a little better. We're gonna bring our brush strength way down. I'm gonna come in here with the soften tool and see if we can't just feather out this edge a little bit and maybe make this not so harsh. I want to be careful not to get right up against that building, but it's pushing the soil back, and I was hoping to drag it this way. So I think we need to level a bit more out this direction, which kind of tragic. I hate taking away from the water, especially because I don't want to upset the fishing industry that's not too far away, though I think it'll be all right. All right, let's bring that brush size way back down, and now soften. That is softened. It is still not quite doing what I want it to do. I think that's just because we have so many different depths in the water there. Yeah, this is just going to keep eating back in to where eventually we're going to be right up against the edge of that property again. Let's see if we can't bring it out this direction some. Maybe lose this deeper bit here. Make it a bit more shallow up right at the coastline. And then if we do that, hopefully we can get this a little bit better. I don't love it. I don't want to use a key wall there. Is it too late to undo all that? It is not. Surprisingly, it has a really big undo memory on all that. Okay. Alright. Back to the drawing board again. First things first. Let's fix something here. First things first. Yeah, first things 20th is what I'm going on here. I want this all the same level, so we're going to have to adjust this road because it looks like it changed elevations on us. So bring a pad out, and then I'm going to come in right behind it, bring that down, and just real quick, just soften that back out. There we go. So the road appears to be, is it raised or lowered? It's looks like it lowered some. So let's grab these nodes here on this road. All of these, and if I bring them up, there we go, that end's good. So let's just bring these up now. I think it's that good, so now just right here. And almost had it. Let's do just this node for a second. And then this node a couple. Just till, there we go. That should have the road at grade now, which is what I wanted. And I'm still stumped as to what I want to do here. Maybe we'd put the park on this side. Where is... There it is. Is this the one we want? Yeah, park with trees. Now, what does that do? Ooh, that conforms to the land nicely. Though, oof, that is steep. But I think I might be okay with it. And then maybe across from it, we do some sort of plaza of some sort. So let's see. That would put a road there and a road there. That's 900. So that's good. I'm good with that. Let's bring that all the way out the distance it needs to go. There we go. Cool, now get rid of that. So that's not too bad, but I think I'd like this to be like another set back even. But then I want these roads over here to do their thing. Gonna have a weird connection here. And maybe just make this whole area here, whoops, a park. Why are we underground? Like, this whole area will become a park, or we'll have some sort of big building in here. I just don't know which one. Grand Central Terminal? No. Although, it's kind of a nice looking building. That's the thing. I just don't know what building. Let me go through these real quick and see if I can't get out of this indecision. Yeah, I kind of like the cathedral. I think that will work. Not quite what I was originally thinking, but I think I'm good with it. What I'd like to do is just center it up a little bit in this space. So that's right about there. And then hopefully this is just right across the street from it. That should be pretty much lined up, yeah. So, can we connect paths to this cathedral? It has spots, but then it says space already occupied. But I bet anarchy will be our friend here. And just get... Oh, okay, we connected way up. Why are we connecting off that one? There we go. Get just a couple paths in there so people can get in here. And then maybe just run these straight down here. And then this will be like the cathedral grounds. And we can do something along these edges. I don't know what just yet. Maybe we could get in a small park to either side. We might even get two of these. Let's turn anarchy off. For some reason, didn't line up the same. Are my roads not the same both sides? 1200. 1200. That's 900. That should have lined up. Show me my grid. What's going on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, you know what? Let's use this. I always forget that this is a thing. So from there to there is 165.89. Cool. So from there to there, 159. So, oh, hey, cool. That's something we need to go work on. So somehow I got this side shorter, but the roads are the same length. I'm really confused. 1200. 1200. We didn't put our paths in any different spot. Like, it's fine. It's identical. Well, whatever. We're going to just move these over. I don't know that I want the same park twice, though, now that I'm seeing it. I think I want to do that and then use this as a connection. Just do something else through there, just some trees or something. And just connect that up like that so that those have a nice connection. Not so thrilled about how this works, but I'm wondering if Node Controller might not be able to get us something here as well. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't even see my colors to know what I'm moving here. Okay. Put that back. Put it back. Reset that. That's weird. Like, it does a thing, but then... Yeah, there's just like no nodes here. No, don't want to shift it. Don't want to stretch it. I just want to offset this, but I can't. I was really hoping that would do it, and now I've made it look real ugly. So we're just gonna get rid of it and put it back and just have to deal with that a little bit. We'll put some trees or something there to hide that real quick. Let's get some water pipes under here so these guys don't have to worry about their water to have. Yep, I have my snap tubes on. We'll run a main one under what's basically Main Street here. Back here where this is straight. Follow this all the way across, and then we will turn off all of our snap tubes and get this connected up. Again, I find just using where the break in the zoning is a nice way to get the water pipes to go around a curve. Since we don't have, you know, curved water pipes in this game, that usually follows it pretty well and then gets it into the 90. So there you go. That at least gets this area some water, even though we're now going to shift gears and come over to the university. We are going to pause for this. Since last time I did add in the basketball arena, I intended to have it all along and just kind of forgot about it. So first things first, we are going to turn on sponsorship deals, even though this is all going to be changed later. And then I'm going to come over here, and we're going to get rid of a lot of the buildings, and then we're going to replace them. So we're going to get rid of all of this stuff that was just like our placeholders. The fountains can stay. And then... yeah, we'll get rid of those as well. For now, though, what I want to do... because we will wind up, just to tie in this area as, hey, this is the university. We will wind up having some of the fountains. And why is this? Of course, it's not going to snap. It's not a road. But we will wind up having some of the fountains and things in here. So what I'm going to do is we'll probably have up to 6 fountains maximum, 1 to each side of each building. But let's go ahead and count on the fact we're going to have 6 fountains. So I want this all for our decorative score here. So we're just going to throw in 6 fountains back here. Again, not their final placement, so please don't be like, oh my god, what is this abomination you're building? Because I know, right now, it's bad. I know it's bad, okay? Hopefully you got that reference. So that's 5. Let's go 6 and delete the path. Good job. And then let's just say we'll have maybe 2 of each statue that wind up in this area once it all gets done. Again, this is going to be more out here. We're going to build kind of a pier, sort of, like a sporting area that's out here. The football one will be off to the main, looking out across the ocean. Then the basketball will be tucked closer to shore, and then baseball will be kind of like maybe at an angle. So cool. That tells me that we still need a lot of work. But before we get into any more decorative buildings, we want to get in our School of Science, which boosts all of our income from specialized industry, which is good because we will soon be working on that oil industry. We already have a big farm. So it increases it while reducing city pollution and electricity consumption. Well, let's look at that. Electricity consumption is 677, and our pollution is 2%. I don't know that we're going to see a massive reduction there. So this bleeds over to that next road and to that next road here, just past its boundaries. Over here, just past its boundaries as well. So we'll see what impact this actually has on pollution. I want this big guy, right? Do I want it down here or do I want it up here? It doesn't fit up there, so I want it down here. We're going to try to center it in this area as best we can, which is right about there. That actually looks really good. And then we've got, from the campus, the front end here, that big building up there. So then that gets us up to a 1262, and then we just need a couple of other things to finish this off. First of all, again, when I build a campus, I do not like to maximize out my capacities. In fact, I don't get why that's... no, it's not that. Somewhere I've got extra capacity for students. Because this should only be 3,000. But instead it's showing 3,650. Where are those other 650 people coming in? There's a 1,000, 1,000. You don't have any. You're just a groundskeeping building. I can understand it if all of the buildings were still in that we add in, but this is very odd. I want a bookstore kind of tucked back here in the corner, and then just for symmetry's sake, another one. Those do nothing to add to capacity. And then I want to find the cafeteria. So the library even has capacity, yeah. Cafeteria, we will tuck one of these in back here. We're not going to have any dorms. Say what you will about it, but we're not doing it. There we go. We'll have that there. And then what's that get us up to for attractiveness? 1502. Cool. Then I want to bring in, you know, I may reorient those so that we get another road in here. Where would that road go? Over here, right? Off of that node. Cool. Yeah, let's reorient this guy and that guy. I don't know where you're trying to go, This way we can get a little bit more density here. And why did that dip down? Oh, I know why it dipped down so much. Okay. So instead, we will come from this direction. Make sure that's on 0 meters. Then, hello, I'm pressing the wrong key. That's why it's not working. And then bring that across. Cool. Maybe we don't want this on this edge. Yeah, because that's, I mean, you'd have to have an incredibly good parking brake to park there. So instead, let's center them up on these paths. And let's also maybe finish this road. There we go. And then we can move the cafeterias down just a bit. And then we can check our score. We're at 1502. So we've got our fountains here, but we don't have any of our statues in the main area. So let's go with academic statue number 2, and let's try to get this right to the side of this path, but facing that way. And then we'll go get academic statue number 1 and do the same thing here. And now we're up to 1677. We're almost where we need to be. I think 2 more statues will get us. And this is what I use to get my universities maxed out, are the statues and the fountains and all of that good stuff, because I just like being able to use all the different university types. But if you get your attractiveness score through buildings, it adds to capacities. And then it becomes really difficult. There, it jumped down to 3,000. It becomes really difficult to have a town that will support. Because, I mean, even this, we've only got 3,600. Thankfully, it only takes 1,800 per campus to stay at the prestigious level. Which once we get the sponsorship deals, we get to keep the sponsorship deals. So our electricity consumption went down a little bit, but now it's going back up. So I don't know. It's hard to say what effect that building really had. It's kind of all over the place, which a little odd. As far as pollution, still just 2%. I don't know if this takes a while to kick in, but in my estimation, that hasn't really reduced pollution there. It hasn't. Maybe a minor reduction here. I think the darker brown, like this dark brown, extended to here. So maybe a bit there. And maybe a bit here. It looks like it's kind of fighting right now to reduce it. It's hard to say. So what I want to do here is get in just a couple more quick roads. I don't know that I want to bring a road off this way. I just want to see what that's going to look like. And yeah, I don't. We will have zoning over here. But not a lot. In fact, to dictate where our zoning's going to go, we're going to bring this out. We're going to turn on anarchy. We're going to bring this out. Let's see. That is 460. That's way too far. So let's try to mimic the angle that we have here. So let's just maybe do something like that. So what was that? 80? So we'll go 80 and then bring that down. And then bring that down. And that should be the same on both sides. And then that gets us an area. And then we can just plant some trees and things in here to make that feel like it's all part of the same park. Cool. I'm happy with this. So I just want to finish this out now with just a standard basic grid for the time being. In fact, I think I might. There's no true midpoint here, though. Right? Yeah. Because that's 6, the other side's 5. So yeah, we'll just stick to what we have here. We'll eventually figure out how we're going to connect it to the collector in another spot. That, as I like to say, is a problem for future Brandon. I just want to go ahead and get some of these homes in here. I just want to see what we're going to be looking at. But we need some city services over here, first of all. Since we have the cathedral, let's go with maybe this nice brick firehouse instead of this more modern looking one. And maybe we'll tuck it in right back here. And for police station, we can go with a more European looking one. That one will be nice, I think. And then we need a clinic over here. So we've got this clinic brick, this clinic kind of modern. Let's go like that. And then we need some death care. I'll remember where it is here in a minute. There it is. We need some death care. Let's tuck that in right across the street over here. And then, of course, we need a post office, which I keep forgetting got moved to the services area. So, cool. I'm considering maybe, just for the walkability of this area, just running this all the way back. Come on. Come on. There we go. Cool. And then let's get some water pipes in here. We've got this road here, so that's the one we'll go off of. We will connect here and connect there. And then if I connect through there and then come around here, go back behind the church, back up. And that gets that whole area done nicely. So I do want a bit of commercial up here. So about like that and about like that. And then I think maybe on just this back side, just a little bit. Back here. And then I do want some commercial in here. Kind of want this to be like a central shopping area. And then the rest of this, I'm almost tempted to do like apartments here, like go high density, but put a high-rise ban on it, and then feather out to lower density this direction, and then all of this over here being lower density. Let's do it. I like that idea a lot. This will also give us a district so that we can name this area. For now, I'm just going to paint in a very rough, ugly district so that we know roughly where this area is going to be. I don't know how far this direction is going to go. Come on, there we go. And we will throw our high-rise ban on Broad Square. There we go. Cool. And now we can do high-density residential on these big blocks. So let's let this run for a minute and see what we get. So it's filling in nicely, and while I was watching it grow, I realized we had an opportunity here. And we're just going to do this really fast, where you're going to come in here, and we are going to turn this area into a park. I mean, it is a park already. I know it has a cathedral in the middle of it, but we can say that that's more of a touristy style thing. It could still be maybe a functional cathedral. But it's definitely a tourist attraction. It's probably on like a national registry of historic places. We're going to make all of that a park, and then we're going to come back here and delete that, because you have to have a gate to have a city park. I just want the small one. We'll throw it in right where it was, and then we'll go right back. Even though these aren't going to match up all that well, we'll use that path. And then what I want to do is come down here and come straight off of these, because that then gives us the opportunity to take advantage of this waterfront by having these park piers out here. So we'll do that one, and we'll do this one down here, and those should be close enough. Let's just move it to kind of get that a little bit better. It's going to do a weird thing here, though, with the terrain, isn't it? Yeah. So maybe up here we'll have to use a self-leveling path or something. Or we can just bump this back so that it doesn't complain. But man, look what it does to that. Oof. Though that was probably already oof anyways. We might have to change the path on this. And then we want to bump this one back as well. And then down, because that first step is a doozy. Ooh, that's really not going to work either. So move it back a little bit. Are you going to leave that path alone? How far back can I move you before you start complaining that you are not connected? Pretty freaking far. But then that just doesn't look all that realistic. And we might have to use a self-leveling path in here, which I didn't really want to do. Maybe if we just use, like, the zoo path, because I think those are self-leveling, right? That doesn't look too bad. And at least it gets us a nice level spot. So now if I move these up right on the path, they should look a little better. Still a doozy of a first step. So let's... There we go. Now, because that self-leveling path is there, these work a little better. There we go. And then that means we can add, you know, some other amenities in here. Nothing major. I'm not interested in this park really making us any money. In fact, we'll just make it free. Won't put an advertising campaign on it or anything like that. We are going to have to deal with this terrain here. But we can hide that with trees and bushes and all that wonderful stuff. But we can come in here and now maybe add some places for the kiddos. Let's turn anarchy off. Just a couple of these in here for the kiddos, and then maybe a gazebo or two, possibly back here. Is there a path right here? There's not. We'll do a gazebo there. Just one gazebo there. That gets it, you know, some entertainment value. Not a ton, but not too bad. And our new little area is coming up right now. It's just Broad Square. This town needs a name. I don't know what we're going to call it just yet. I also am not pleased with how tall some of these buildings are. So we might wind up playing whack-a-mole in between videos. But so far, I'm digging it. I like that we've got the church set off. We'll do some landscaping to kind of copy this that's going on. And bring that down the sides and in along the park here. It looks like they're both using similar trees. So that'll give us some nice consistency, and then we'll figure out something here. I don't know what that something is going to be yet, but we'll figure it out. So until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.